Welcome to the final gaze.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Happy Halloween, everybody. It's officially October 31st, the spookiest day of the year.
I've been feeling
I'm
so spooky today, Harrison.
I'm your host, Dracula.
I see. I see.
Don't worry, I'm not going to be wearing this mask the whole time, but I'm just trying to get in the spirit because it's Halloween, quite possibly my favorite holiday ever.
It's definitely my favorite holiday.
Yep. Second is Thanksgiving because of all the food. Not
This
for
year,
Oh
it's kind
God,
of
yeah.
whatever, but
Yeah. So today we'll be discussing a Halloween movie. Probably, I think, the best Halloween movie ever made. We're, of course, referring to Trick or Treat, directed by
Michael Dougherty.
Michael Dougherty, who, of course, as you may know, directed such films as Krampus, which we're covering for Christmas, and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, right?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. He
Yeah.
also did. I feel like there was something else in between there, but
Krampus, yeah.
that's right, Krampus. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's funny. I think, remember how I said I confused the Michael Flanagan, Michael Dougherty? I just realized that Michael Dougherty totally did a few films to get to the big blockbuster of Godzilla. He only did Trick or Treat and Krampus, and then suddenly, hey, we're going to trust you with Godzilla.
Well, he's been working in movies for a hot second, though, because he was a writer um, for a lot of movies prior. He's like Mike Bryan Singer's, I want to say, protege.
Mm-hmm.
Like he worked under Bryan Singer a lot for the X-Men movies. He was there, and then Superman Returns. And I was reading somewhere that the reason Trick or Treat got put on the shelf for so long was because Superman Returns did really bad,
Mm-hmm.
and so they didn't have faith in Michael Dougherty at the moment until after Trick or Treat came out, and then it was a success.
And I totally forgot that Bryan Singer was a part of this movie.
Yeah, that piece of shit. Fuck him.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually feeling the effect of this spooky mask. So, I mean, it's not as bad as the mask we have to wear in public, but it is, whew, it's getting
Getting
hot in
hot.
here. Yeah. So the mask is coming off, but happy Halloween. Alrighty, well, when was the first time you watched Trick or Treat?
I saw this the second it came out on DVD.
Yeah, did this have a theatrical release? Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't know. I think I watched this only like maybe within the past 6 years, I think.
Mm.
I think it was just a movie that my friend Eugenie showed me at my apartment one time. I haven't told this kind of story in a while, but it was, Harrison, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Yes, yes, no. He's like, you haven't seen Trick or Treat? So she put it in, and it was like the best. Like, I absolutely loved it. I didn't know what it was in for. I knew nothing about it. Just sit down, and it was just a wild ride from beginning to end.
I was obsessed with um, waiting for this movie to come out because I remember I saw the trailer in like 2006 because it was supposed to come out in 2007.
Hmm.
Saw the trailer in 2006 and was so excited for it, like super, super, super excited. And then it just never came out, and I kept track of it like for the years following to see what would happen if I could catch it somewhere. Um, and so when it did come out, I had read the script because I couldn't wait.
Oh wow.
Which there are some differences.
Hmm.
Actually, there's an entire section that's different. But I was very much into this movie as far as like nerding out. Every clip or trailer or whatever, I was there. So,
Wow.
and I was pretty pleased. I think I don't think I was let down by it.
Hmm. Now, difference wise, what story was changed?
The kids in the quarry wasn't there.
Whoa. Oh, it wasn't.
Mm-mm. It was. teenagers in a cemetery with. It was almost the same, but not. I mean, I remember the one in the script was a lot more violent, and I think everyone dies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I think, college people in a cemetery and it's zombies.
Oh,
But
right.
it's like I remember just when they were describing it, it was really gory. Like they were supposed to be torn to be like ripped open and stuff, like full frame camera,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot darker than it turns out to be. I think it would have made the movie a lot darker if they had kept that scene in.
Well, I'm actually kind of glad that it is the way it is now, just because I think out of all the stories, that's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, zombies. They can never go wrong with zombies, and I love the fact that there is a sort of comeuppance for the asshole children.
Yeah. I like that portion a lot. I don't know if it's my favorite. I like the school bus massacre scene,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of feel like those kids are annoying. I like Rhonda.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean the modern day kids?
I think they're annoying. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
Not the...
I'm sure they're annoying too. They look like it, but no, I like that little snippet of that portion of the story.
It's really cool because I went into a Halloween store to find this little simple mask over here, but there was actually a surprising amount of trick-or-treat props for sale, and I could not believe that this movie was still this famous and this well known.
Those are new. Like I remember that was like a this year thing. I remember seeing a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of stuff on Twitter that they were going to release a bunch of trick or treat masks, and I remember thinking too, like, I guess it really has gathered a cult following to warrant them actually putting money into it now.
Yeah, and that's why I really wish it was a normal year, because they do sell the little Sam onesie with the really nice deluxe Sam mask.
I was gonna wear it. That's what I was gonna get, but not this year.
Yeah, so I can totally see you in that. It looks so cute. And the mask, at least the deluxe one, because it looks like it's actually made of like the burlap sack.
Yeah, I had it in my hand, and I just
Yeah.
decided to hold off because I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing. But no, I decided.
Oh, and they had everything. They even had like the little sucker knife with the
Yeah, I
the
saw
bit.
that, the lollipop.
Oh god. Oh yeah, the lollipop was like sucker. So just definitely got to be next year, man. Definitely got to be next year.
Yeah, hopefully things are starting to get bad again.
Yeah, it's been a weird day. There's already talk of another government shutdown for Fort McDowell, and also the high school next to my reservation closed for 2 weeks.
There's a
So
huge
it's like,
outbreak right now.
yeah,
In multiple counties, especially schools. So yeah, it's gonna get.
I guess we got a I guess we got a big old "I told you so" coming.
From the world? From
Not to
scientists?
us, yeah, from scientists, exactly. But not to get into politics.
Although, vote.
Yes, please
We'll say,
go
please
vote.
vote.
If you
Vote.
voted,
Do not mail your ballots anymore. Go directly to there because it's too late.
and it'll be even later because this is coming out Halloween. So,
Yeah, so you got a couple days. So make sure you have a plan, everyone.
all right, you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the nerdy film score talk. And now it's time for our favorite part of the podcast, nerdy film score talk.
And you know what I'm
Douglas
really
Pipes.
excited about? Yes, we're finally covering another Douglas Pipes
Yep.
soundtrack.
Second Douglas Pipes score at Monster House. Then this will be covering all of his scores because I think he's only ever done these three movies. Oh, he did the Babysitter movie, the first one, and we'll be doing Krampus at the end of this year. And Trick or Treat is actually a really, really, really fun score. And I actually really like Douglas Pipes because he is a very old school sounding composer for modern times. So let's jump into the first track. It's main titles, and that's going to be our comic book theme. And as I said, old school composer, I feel he's referencing Bernard Herrmann. Obviously, we got like our Psycho references right in this track, which we'll play for you right here.
The whole track.
I love this. It's actually funnily in my workout playlist because just of how
Is
intense it
it?
sounds.
Well, it is. It is very fast. I really like it a lot. I think it's my favorite track on the soundtrack. But the Psycho comparisons are very strong. Like, I mean, it's, it's like one of those when they're, what's it called, using another score for like when they're editing a movie, temp score. It's almost like a temp track. It's like they use Psycho, the theme song for this opening, and then he kind of remade it. Is what it sounds like to me.
And plus, he just outright admits in the special features that it's specifically a Bernard Herrmann homage.
Homage, you ripped him off. It sounds good though.
Yeah. And the second track I want to reference is called Charlie Bites It. And for me, this is a perfect example of embracing the fun side of Halloween. And we'll play that for you right here.
It's a lot of fun, I think. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
His music, this listen through the soundtrack, I noticed it's one of those movies, unfortunately, where the music's good, but it matches the scene, but listening to it separate doesn't really work for me. Like when I was listening to it, I'm like, okay, I can recognize this is when that happened and this is when that happened, like when there was a sting or something, but listening to it on its own for enjoyment, I don't think it really works as well.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to how I felt about Monster House.
Yeah.
It's like, it fits perfectly, and like the exciting parts are exciting, but when, I found myself, at least for this track, like, okay, this was a really mellow sounding
like,
track.
okay, there's
Skip
like
it.
Dialogue right now because it's super low. It's just, yeah.
And a terrific example of that is the next track I want to reference is called Father and Son. And this is actually, I think it's about like 5-6 minutes long.
I think this is a really boring track.
But, it's kind of like that. It's funny because I think we kind of went opposite. I remember how you referenced a track on Monster House, and I think it was like Ding Dong Ditch, where, at least for me, that track was boring until the end. And I think this is the same case with Father and Son, because the only part I like about it is the dramatic build-up to when the father stabs the pumpkin,
which is like 3 seconds long
at the end. But I just really wanted a reference for that, and we'll play that for you right here. I love dramatic build-ups.
I do too when it's like the actual track is a build-up, but I felt like that specific track, nothing happened until
the end.
That scene is supposed to happen. So in my mind, I'm like, all I can see is that scene happening.
Mm-hmm. And it's great because there's going to be a track that is complete opposite of that, which we'll discuss a little later. But for now, the next track I want to reference is Meet Rhonda. Rhonda gets her own theme, and it's very innocent. It's very idyllic. And
I really like it.
And like the lower notes are actually the same from Sam's theme, which Sam's theme essentially is just the Halloween anthem.
The
trick or treat,
smell
my feet, give me something good to, and it's just a very that's sprinkled throughout the whole movie.
Thing. Yeah. You really hear it in the main titles,
which we'll reference right here. And this is Rhonda's theme, which
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that Rhonda's theme just kind of takes the lower notes of that theme, and it's a different theme with Rhonda.
I just really like it. I feel like it is a good character theme. Like you don't get a whole lot of time with her, but immediately from this track when it starts playing and her introduction, I feel like it really aids you being on her side and kind of sympathizing with her. And I think this is a track I have listened to just for pleasure, relaxation. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I actually do really like Rhonda as a character just because of what she does, but we'll talk about that when we get to the movie. And the track that I was referencing earlier that is complete opposite of Father and Son is the aptly titled The Halloween School Bus Massacre. And
Great track.
Yeah, the kids on the bus gets their own theme.
It seems like everyone gets their own theme because then there's Lori. Like, doesn't Lori have her own as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lori's Mr. Krieg gets his own theme, and it's basically just this theme because, of course, spoilers. The bus driver in that story is Mr. Krieg. So, but yeah, no, the story gets its own theme, and it's represented by the mysterious piano, and the same innocent sound is heard, but with sinister undertone.
Yeah.
And then it's really cool because then we get a more flowy theme. I don't know, it's the only word that came to mind when I heard it. Then we get our action cue as the more exciting parts of the scene play out. And I imagine that's the parts where, the one Dracula kid is kind of freaking out and kind of drives the bus. And again with my dramatic build-ups as the bus goes over the edge and into the quarry.
It is a good one. I do like it, and I like the piano, kind of little piano sting at the end. You imagine the masks floating in the water, the pumpkins. I think that was a really nice touch.
Yeah, and it's crazy because that's the one thing I will always love about composers like Douglas Pipe. Michael Giacchino does this all the time. He creates specific motifs for specific characters, and you kind of really find that nowadays. I think that people just have a sound as opposed to a theme.
Yeah, it's a sound, and that's all that carries over through the entire soundtrack. I find, like you said, it's rare to now have a character have their own. Several characters have their own themes throughout the movie.
Yeah, and that's not saying that all composers don't do that. Brian Tyler does it. Fucking John Williams does it.
I don't feel like you find it in big mainstream movies anymore, though. Like big movies.
Yeah, like Steve Jablonsky.
No.
For him, it's just it needs to sound epic and deep and heroic. Yeah, and then it becomes more of a sound as opposed to a theme. So,
it's supposed to elicit an emotion, epicness.
Yeah. And I don't know, lately Hans Zimmer's been sort of just pushing out riffs almost, sort of like loops, not so much music as it is beats.
If he still actually composes, I think he just has a little sweatshop of his little minions.
Sweatshop of, yeah, I totally, because now,
indie
what
composers.
Did he have? Because he, and especially Ludwig Göransson, his theme for Tenet, I can't recall a theme per se. I just hear techno beats and drums. So
yeah,
maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to delve deeper into it. But But yeah, Douglas Pipes. Really excited to talk about him.
So excited. He's just the best.
And the next track, actually, you know who he sounds like to me? Alexandre Desplat.
I can see that. I can see in the quieter moments, at least for me.
And it's crazy because now this next track I want to reference, Halloween Prank, it actually reminds me of a Desplat score. The trumpets that go down the scale in this song. It reminds me of the Deathly Hallows Part 1 during that whole Seven Potters chase sequence. It's just, I don't know.
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, for me, it's like you rarely hear busy brass like that. You know, they're always playing like long notes. You got Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and here now, like we actually have, you know, they're giving these trumpet players something to do that's fun and interesting. And I've only ever heard that, like, well, aside from like John Williams, he's like most famous for that. But like as far as running down these scales, Desplat. That's exactly what came to mind. And for our longest track, I mean, this was a little hard to get through. 12 minutes.
Yes. I hate tracks that are more than 5 minutes. Honestly, I don't think there's a reason for it. And there's a huge portion of this track that nothing happens.
Mm-hmm. And we're, of course, referencing Pumpkin Shooter and / Meet Sam. And theme-wise, at least, there's a whole lot going on in this track. But, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of, like... it is the most scary track on the score. It's the most horror-driven part of the soundtrack. And it's filled with, like... And it's actually filled with a whole lot of suspenseful music, but you're right. Mm-hmm. You know, just a lot of long, you know, those two
pauses.
Horns. Yeah.
It's like as soon as I'm getting pumped, it quiets down again. You know, it's that kind of like, if they had maybe, I don't know. I do like the Meet Sam part when we finally get to that part. It's really good.
Because I think the scene where Sam is basically just kind of fucking with Mr. Krieg, that is the scariest part of the movie. I feel it's like the most horror. It's like, it's not fun. Definitely. It's like, I feel like, okay, this is actually genuinely creepy.
You actually get scared, yeah.
But yeah, right when Meet Sam comes in, this is where we have some... It's weird that I say classic Douglas Pipes action cues, but this is classic Douglas Pipes action cues. You know, but the ending is my favorite though. And you know, when we have that very, very subtle hi-hat hit driving the score, when Sam is kind of his arms coming back on and he bites the lollipop and...
That is a good part, yeah.
And again, there's that dramatic build-up. You know, you gotta... But the great thing about it...
You gotta be fucking kidding me. I love that line.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
You also get a lot of themes mixing in that build-up to that final stab. So, Again, here we have a composer, creating different motifs, like the Sam theme. It could be playful, it could be cute, it could be sinister and powerful, and I think that's great because I think that's what Sam is. He may look like a kid, but he is not.
No, I love that guy. Such a good creation.
Love him
as a character, yeah.
Because I think the director was right in saying that Halloween doesn't really have like a how would you say a mascot, So here we got, you got Santa Claus, you got Leprechaun, you got the Easter Bunny,
the rabbit. You got the rabbit,
and Sam.
I wish he was more of an icon by now, and maybe down the line he will be with all these masks and kind of new interest in the movie. I'm hoping if they ever do a sequel that he will finally be kind of. I want to see more kids dressed up as Sam and more. Yeah, I don't know.
Admittedly, there were like the Sam costume at the Spirit Halloween store was on the racks, and none of them were taken. They were all just there. So part of me thinking is like, who the hell is this?
I feel like it's definitely a movie nerd costume. Like, you're not going to go to the store, and if you're, I don't think that a general person's going to go and be like, this is it. They're not going to know what it is. I feel like the people who are buying those costumes are like for a specific reason.
Yeah, because
they know the property.
They have like a really awesome like Sam standee, and it was holding the lollipop thing, and it was really cool. And I'm like thinking, who here actually knows this? Because I
was very happy that the ghost face portion of the costume area was depleted. There was a lot missing from the shelves, which just makes me happy.
Yeah, but it's crazy. I think Scream's a bit more iconic than Trick or Treat, or at least Sam.
Well, I'm going to say Scream is like
that's like
very much more. I think finally Ghostface is up there with Michael and Jason and all that.
Oh yeah,
I'm just hoping Sam gets there eventually.
Yeah, and it's weird because I think it is like a cult thing though.
And Sam has kind of a lot of work against him because Michael Myers is already kind of seen as the mascot of Halloween, despite it's really not about Halloween. So unfortunately, I feel like there's some kind of
rivalry there.
Rivalry.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But if anything, Sam embodies Halloween. So cute. I know this track you said shouldn't be involved, but I just want to include it because it's so fun. The track is called Trick or Treat, and it's just the final horror sting just to finish off the soundtrack, which we'll just play for you in its entirety because it's so short. I love it.
It is.
I love it. I love it. So, but yeah, Douglas Pipes. I feel that unfortunately, I don't know. I just wish that he had more gigs nowadays. I feel that he, I don't know. I think he has to score a specific kind of movie. It needs to be these fun, wacky, out there, spooky movies.
I understand why Michael Dougherty didn't pick him for
Godzilla.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's obvious. But, if Michael Dougherty comes back, I can also see why he was hired for The Babysitter, because that's like a movie I feel that doesn't take itself seriously and you can have fun with it. I
love that movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that movie.
I think we kind of discussed the sequel a little bit, right? Like, I didn't like the sequel, though.
I ate it up.
Yeah. But, Babysitter, I don't know. Could be on the list. We'll see what happens. If anything, just
hopefully,
talk about another Douglas Pipes score. We'll just knock out all of his scores in one go.
Yeah.
But the Trick or Treat score, love it. I just love how classic it sounds, how fun it is, and I just think it's kind of funny that we knocked out 3/4 of his filmography in one year.
That is funny. I think it's a really, really good soundtrack. I think it fits better watching it with the movie, but there are some really good tracks that I think are worth putting on in your library. I have a couple definitely.
Yeah, again, there's a lot that I skipped over. I was listening to it. I'm like, okay, nothing's happening here. Sounds cool. Not worth talking about though. But
I feel that these are the tracks that would be selected from the soundtrack on a iPod. So
Yeah.
way back when, of course. And there's this really awesome video on YouTube that has a recording of someone listening to the vinyl.
Really?
I'm just because like they film the vinyl and just record real good audio from it, and then they just play it. But
Cool.
I kind of wish I had that vinyl. It looks so cool. It just looks like a bloody pumpkin thing or something.
I did see that when it came out. Was it Mondo?
Yeah, it was
did that?
I feel Mondo would be responsible for something like
Yeah.
that. Who else but Mondo? The Trick or Treat
True.
score on vinyl.
Yeah, I do see some. I forget. They did some obscure soundtrack, and I was like, one
Really?
person at Mondo is a fan of this soundtrack. I'll have to. I forget which one it was.
Yeah. And of course, Scream Factory released a really awesome collector's edition of this movie. So
Is it worth getting? I had the original like basic DVD, so I don't know. Did it come
God.
with more special features or anything?
yeah, there were like
Because the DVD I had, I don't have it anymore. Had like a 3-minute featurette and then all the trailers.
that's it.
Yeah, it's like
Holy
from what I remember, I don't remember seeing a whole lot of making up for this movie.
Well, then definitely there was like 4 different featurettes. One specifically about the music.
Commentary?
Yes, commentary.
I miss commentaries
yeah,
so much.
and there was this really cool feature. It was like, it wasn't a. Well, I don't know. Maybe it could have been, but it could have been like maybe directly inspired by the Trick or Treat universe. But there was a comic book kind of thing you can scroll through, and I actually read it, and it was really nice, and it would have actually fit in very well as a Trick or Treat short. Maybe it was like a rejected story. I don't know, but that was really cool. But one of the things that I actually really enjoyed was the Fear.net short films that I only saw a fraction of earlier.
Yeah, those are good. I remember when they came out.
Yeah, all of those are on there. Definitely commentaries, behind the scenes, trailers, photos. Yeah, just especially coming just from a DVD. Yes, it's definitely worth the upgrade.
Cool.
Which I think it's still available. I don't think it was that sought after. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I would upgrade just because DVD. Come on.
Well, yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know if it got like a remaster. It probably was just the same Blu-ray file as before. Like I don't even think they shot. No, they shot it on film. I don't know if they did like that whole 4K remaster, but I don't think it needed to be. Anyways, it was shot recently. It's not like it was like an ancient movie that they.
Yeah, I mean it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think just for the box art alone, absolutely. I mean, if you can find one with a slipcase.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up. I actually don't even remember what the cover looks like for that.
The DVD.
I'm sure it's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Shout
DVD.
Factory?
The
Or
new
the
one,
DVD?
yeah. The original was just the poster.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks so cool. Like, you got the traditional theatrical poster on one side, and then you can flip it over, and it's like the modern, like the new poster art. It's really fucking cool. So,
Cool.
upgrade it.
And I used to have the art book. I forget what happened to it, but it was like a really thick art book that was amazing. It did have some really good pieces in there.
And I'm kind of wondering, like, I mean, Monster House and this are so kind of, like, they look so similar style-wise.
Visual, yes.
That I'm just
I mean,
wondering, if they brought designers over from that to this.
The School Bus Massacre, like when she first starts telling the story and the leaf kind of falls. I mean, that's like the opening of Monster House, right? Like
Absolutely.
Even the orange tint, like that warm color feeling, is exactly the same.
Yeah. So, I'd believe it. I would totally believe it. And I guess in regards to artwork, they definitely have a lot of concept art on the Blu-ray. So, I'm still gonna say upgrade.
I'm a whore for movie art books, making up books. I have so many.
But yeah, well, yeah, no, that's the score. I mean, it was also definitely confirmed that Michael Dougherty just hired Douglas Pipes because of his work on Monster House. So we were definitely right about that on that review. So yeah, but all right, well, let's just jump into the movie. How should we do this? Like story by story, or do we just?
I was just gonna say, which start off, what's your favorite, or I guess you already said, portion
Yeah.
of the story? I'm gonna say my favorite, I think, is the werewolf.
Yes. The werewolf was really cool. Well, first of all of them are really cool.
Actually, it's hard now that I'm thinking of it. It's werewolf or the Mr. Krieg.
Mr. Krieg.
Krieg at the end. That whole part is actually maybe the most exciting, and I think, like we said, scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's a toss-up because the werewolf part has all the kind of the hip scream type reverse your expectations feeling that I like. It's really fun. It's sexy. It looks cool. And then the Mr. Krieg section is very nostalgic and like old school haunted house horror kind of monster movie, which also hits my sweet tooth.
Yeah, again, this is a movie where you definitely, well, obviously do get 4 movies in one, but you get like 4 different like horror genres in one. You got your creature feature,
Yeah.
you got your serial killer, you got your
Monster movie, your
Yeah.
zombie movie.
I was about to say, well, what is Sam's story? I mean, that's obviously like a home invasion, but like a supernatural home invasion.
I'd say like a supernatural home invasion.
like a Gremlins, mother standoff or something,
Yeah. It definitely feels like an extended Gremlin versus Mom standoff.
Yeah.
It has the same humor.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Like you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, great line. It's just so real for such a fantastical moment.
But to answer your question though, my favorite is still the zombie one, the Halloween school bus massacre story. Just because I think it does a terrific job of informing you of all these characters, who they are, and also it does a terrific job of setting up the mythology of the story in such a short amount of time.
Through Rhonda,
Yeah, through
kind of explaining like the pumpkins and what you should or shouldn't do.
Oh, that's peppered throughout the whole story.
I guess that's
but
true.
specifically, the one bitch, the bitch leader who tells the story about the Halloween school bus massacre.
I see.
Yeah, but just that whole part, it's like, okay, well, we're flashing back. It doesn't feel forced; it feels natural, and of course, it's adding to the story, and it's
Great shot and transition as it like flows past her with the leaves, and then it flows into the next scene. I think that's like one of the best transitions into a flashback. Ish kind of.
Yeah, and like the way it kind of pans up from the quarry and it goes into the fog and it comes up to them on top of the cliff.
I feel like this little portion, I mean, I think the parts with the kids is okay. I think when they're telling this story is really, really good. I almost feel like it's on a different level than the rest of the movie, and I feel like maybe Michael Dougherty paid special attention specifically to this scene, the story, and the way it was filmed. It almost, I feel like it's could be in a better movie, like a I forget the word, like a elevated horror movie. I just it give like I actually felt sad for the kids. It was scary. Like it gave me a different kind of feeling than the fun of the rest of the movie.
Yeah, because I mean, I think it's great because again, I love a great comeuppance. I love as much as I loved Benny in The Mummy. He got what he deserved.
He got what he deserved.
Yeah, and these kids, and I know some were definitely better than others. Like the cute boy wearing like the little jacket, and the little pirate kid.
It's funny. I mean, I think it's pretty great that they all die except for Rhonda, but it was questionable. I mean, they all at the end of the day were in on it. Like the alien girl loved her costume. I think the alien costume was really funny. I don't know if they all deserved it, but it maybe be. I guess they're saying because they followed the most terrible one, they do deserve it. I don't know. I thought maybe at least the cute boy should have lived because at least he was nice and he was trying to get them to stop. I guess.
But I mean, they
Maybe
all
just 'cause-
went down there. They gathered the pumpkins.
They did.
And
I guess it's just funny, weird seeing an entire group of children be killed. As comeuppance, right?
as comeuppance. But you see, I don't know. Just like I cheered for her. I'm like, yeah, fuck those kids. Because the moment where you think she's gonna open the gate, she's gonna push the up button. She pushes the up button, and those kids get mutilated.
And I feel like I love the moment where she's putting her hat back on and about to walk away, and she sees Sam. Like they notice each other, and it's almost like it's like she knows who it is, and it's like a respect thing. And he leaves her alone, and she keeps on in her own way. I just thought it was a really cute moment.
Which I don't think if she didn't have that pumpkin, she was probably dead.
Yeah, I think he saw though, like she was the one telling everyone, "Don't, this is why we have pumpkins. This is why this or that."
And she's the one who does explain that, well, for instance, it's not Sam Hain, it's
Samhain.
Samhain, which I still think is cute that they still call little Sam.
Sam.
But yeah, she's the one that's all really into the lore. She made all those pumpkins. She's the one who kind of introduces the rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's my favorite. It has I think
The idiot savant line, I feel like, was really harsh, but really funny.
And also, I think it has a lot of great cinematic shots too. Like that, the scene of the bus going over the cliff could have been like your Michael Bay 6 angles capturing it from all angles, but it just goes
When it goes
over the
and
cliff,
just such a great shot.
and then it just
Because everyone, your
dollies in.
your stomach just goes down, drops.
See, I don't know. See, I like that. I mean, cinematic wise, I don't think there's a lot going on with the other stories, really. Like even I think it has a lot of creative stuff going on. Like even though it was a prank, like the jack-o'-lanterns in the fog, and then them kind of going out with the scream.
It did look really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's my favorite.
I will say, I think Mr. Kriegs has some really good cinematic moments. At least the pumpkin in the like when the pumpkin flames come up and you see the bloody writing on the wall. I think that is actually. I wish I had seen it in theaters. This is one movie I would like to see in theaters because I think that scene too was very visually, at least for me, visually appealing.
Which again, there's only so much you can do in a house, but again, and that's not just with that story, or even it's not limited to just the Halloween School Bus Massacre story. All of them have their kind of some moments here and there. You know what I mean? I think the most, I guess the most. I'm not going to say bland, but the most traditional looking part of the movie is going to be the principal.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. That is the least kind of fantastical of all the stories. So it is very plain. And I think the werewolf, even though it turns out at the end to be really over the top, I think it's filmed almost exactly like a teen slasher would be. So it almost is boring at first. Like the way everything's shot, they're in like the costume store. It just seems very basic and everything. It doesn't get cinematic until it's Laurie and the Mr. Wilkins in the forest. And then finally that story kind of gets into its spooky horror elements and things. But I agree. I feel like he purposely gave each story its own kind of look.
Yeah, based off of like what that story is like truly like trying to be, Like, I mean, we watched our serial killer movies. The serial killer movies looked a lot like the ones with Mr. Wilkins in it,
The kids... The prank with the kids, it was very Goonies to me.
Very Goonies.
It did feel like a kid's movie. Like even the sprinkle of the piano and Rhonda's theme did feel very kiddie. And I showed this movie to Brian. He had no idea what it was going to be. And I remember when it got to that part, he was like, this is nothing like what I thought it was going to be.
Which I'm glad, because he could have ended up with Trick or Treat or Trick or Treat.
Which I haven't seen, and I don't know if I want to.
I've seen my favorite YouTube personalities review it, and
is it good? I mean, is it worth?
I think it's worth it if you're really drunk and you just want to watch a really bad movie.
Maybe it's on the list as like a drunk commentary or something,
kinda
which
like
we still need to do.
Which we will. It's kind of like Hack-a-Lantern, I guess, kind of in that vein,
I've never heard of Hack-a-Lantern.
Oh, wow, then we'll put that on the list too.
Okay.
But one of my favorite things, as I said, time travel is my kind of one of my favorite things when it comes to movies. But from a narrative point of view, my favorite thing in movies is like movies that are out of order.
I don't mind that. I don't see it's the same as time travel, but I don't mind continuity. Like, yeah.
Yeah, because ultimately the beginning is the end. Mm-hmm. And all these stories intertwine with each other in some shape or form. Christopher Wilkins says he has a date. That date turns out to be a werewolf.
I loved seeing when Sam sees the couple from the very beginning for the first, like you see that moment where he sees her and she kicks the pumpkin, or she does something with the pumpkin, and you hear her going,
out.
he goes, you hear like a gasp, like, oh, how could she?
And then she looks at his lollipop like, bitch.
Yeah, perfect. I love that
down.
moment. And it's just after the Krieg fight, and so you're finally calming down, and I don't know. Even the music, I think, during that part's really good.
Mm-hmm. That's really when his like la 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 la.
I like it. I do like when movies kind of give you pieces, and then at the end everything comes together. A la Saw does that in every movie. I think this one does it really well, and not in your face.
No,
because you kind of don't notice that they're out of order unless you're really paying attention.
Which is great, because that's what I found awesome about this movie, is that it's a terrific movie if you've seen it for the first time. And then it becomes a really fun movie because you start noticing on a second viewing that, oh my God, how did I not see that before?
Yeah.
You know?
Rewatchability, which was my problem with our last review, Donnie Darko. I feel like this one's the complete opposite, where every time you might notice something different.
Which is great, because I think a lot of like I didn't know they were werewolves, but when you listen back to what they're talking about when they're getting dressed, I'm like, oh my God.
I'll huff and I'll puff.
And my favorite one's like, oh yeah, no, I had a little Mexican. I'm like,
yeah, you're right.
Oh.
And she was like, it doesn't care. She had a nice ass. Right, is that what she says? In the werewolf scene, you can see in the background other people that you've seen throughout the movie, like the teacher who answers the door, where the kid's like, there's like a hot dog fucking a pig or something like that. You see those two, the hot dog and the pig, dead in that forest scene, which I think is just fucking hilarious. Like, you would never know that, I think, unless you, I don't know, read about it or just watched it over and over again.
And also, in like another strange, I don't want to say cameo, but they definitely either this guy was just a glorified extra, or he literally came on set because he was in 13 Ghosts. But of course, we're talking about the great child from the 13 Ghosts playing a baby in the werewolf scene.
Is that him? I mean, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, the big.
But that
man,
is pretty funny.
Yeah, the big man who Anna Paquin is supposed to be hooking up with, or was supposed to, but of course that didn't happen, is the great child from 13 Ghosts. Playing
that's ridiculous
himself again, but not the great child, just
before he died.
Man. Yeah,
before the great child was dead, was the great child.
Yeah,
Shared universe. This is a prequel.
Like, I think that's just funny. He's just become known as the guy in a diaper. So,
but yeah, there's a lot of moments like that. You can if you look close enough, you'll notice different intertwining things with the other stories.
Yeah, definitely. Just hints. And you would probably never notice them on a first viewing.
Yeah, so, I didn't, for sure. Because you're not looking for them.
No, because you think, oh, they're talking about fucking some dudes. Fucking some Mexican dude. Eating some girl's ass. Not literally eating a girl's ass.
Eating her, yeah. I'll say, I was trying to think of like my least favorite part. I think the weakest part of the movie for me, or scene, is the festival slasher scene where it's Mr. Wilkins, who we don't know at the time is that vampire killer guy, and he's going after the girl.
Yeah. I thought it was cool because of how she ends up. People walking by would think she's just drunk like the guy next to her.
I think it was really cheap. Like, I think that particular story was like worked on the least. It just seemed corny. I don't know. She's like, it's like they filmed it in one day because the whole chase scene is one alleyway, and it only seems kinetic. It's because she's bouncing from one wall to the other. And then I'm like, he's a huge fan of I Know What You Did Last Summer, because it was just Helen's chase. It even had the drums and everything going on. And so for me, it kept reminding me of a better chase scene in a better movie.
Which, while I've never seen I Know What You Did Last Summer, I know enough to know what exactly you're referencing.
Helen Shivers chase scene in A Noche de la Summer is still my favorite chase scene in any horror movie, and I have not watched one that has topped it yet. So
We'll watch it. We'll watch it. But as you know, if you didn't like it though, it still served a purpose, and it's not like it was just random. If anything, it set up that character as menacing, as a murderer. So when that person stalks Anna Paquin's character, what's her name? Like, do you
Laurie?
remember Laurie?
Named after Laurie
Laurie.
Strode,
I
specifically.
wonder what that was named after. But you know, it's not like it was without purpose. You know, it set his character up to be a killer, which is why when he stalks Anna Paquin's character, we're still like, oh my god, watch out, little girl.
I get why it's there, and I get why you have to set him up as being someone who's menacing, but I just thought it wasn't executed very well. I just felt very lazy and kind of like, okay, one, how the fuck did she not feel him slicing
Biting
up
her,
her,
yeah.
like every fucking artery? Two, is he like going down on her as well for half a second?
A little.
Are we supposed to think that, or
She's bleeding from like her legs
Everywhere.
and everything, you know.
everywhere? I don't know.
I mean, to
This is
each
my
their
least favorite
own.
part of the movie. Yeah,
I've definitely been with a guy who bit me too hard once. I'm like, okay, all right, buddy, take it easy there, you know. So hey, you know, if you're into that, I definitely know some people are definitely into blood play.
no bite shaming.
No bite shaming, no
kink
blood
here.
shaming.
Just film it better.
But it was I don't know. I was okay with it. I was definitely okay with it. I want to know where he got those teeth because they were able to bite into flesh.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Is that digging too much into it or?
the teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think they were just fake costume teeth that he sharpened or something.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, at least I mean, I know there are werewolves in it, but I'm kind of glad there wasn't a vampire in this.
Yeah, I'm glad there wasn't one either. I feel there was enough with the masks.
Yeah. And one thing I really liked, and I'm glad it wasn't like, because the werewolf transformation scene could have easily been a CGI effect, and they
Cursed.
did. Yeah, and they did use CGI with Laurie's transformation because her back gets all crazy.
Yeah.
But as far as getting close up shots of women removing their skin, practical, and you can tell they had like one or two werewolves, full mechanical or whatever.
And I'm sure they look like shit, but they filmed them. And
Yes.
they edited around them very tightly, so the little slivers that you get of the actual werewolves, you can't see enough to like judge it, so it works fine. And the way it's edited with the music and everything, I think most people are probably looking at the women.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Definitely. And also, I think another terrific use of "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This" by Marilyn Manson.
So good, so good.
You can tell that. What music do we have? We have our old license from House on Haunted Hill. We can use this, because it was a Warner Brothers movie. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was in that movie.
I mean,
This is a better movie than that.
It was a better movie than that. Better use of it too. But yeah,
and I don't think I can ever watch The House on Haunted Hill anymore because I don't think anything with that property will ever top The Haunting of Hill House.
Right. Yeah, that reminds me. I just bought a new 4K remastered version of Jan de Bont's Haunting. So I
saw that on Vudu.
Yes, the digital copies on there.
Okay, I saw that on there, and I just like
Yep.
it's so
It's so bad,
it's
but
so,
I
and I just remember
it.
as a kid loving it. Absolutely, and you know why? Because it was one of the only scary movies I was allowed to watch.
I love
For some
that
reason,
house.
my mom really liked that movie and allowed me to watch it. She didn't think it was too scary, so I had a nostalgic thing for it, and I watched it a couple years ago, and I was like,
What the fuck was
"Oh
I
my
thinking?
God.
Oh mother.
Owen Wilson,
Owen Wilson. Wow.
baby faces,
Oh, remember Owen Wilson from Anaconda? We did all the wows.
so cute. Wow, there's a ghost. Wow, Sam."
But yeah, no, and Jerry. I mean, say what you will, Jerry Goldsmith scores really good though.
It is really good.
And to this day, I honestly just think that Lily Taylor did The Conjuring because of how ashamed she was of the haunting.
She had to redeem herself, and I'd say she did.
She definitely did.
I think she does an amazing job in that movie. You've seen The Haunting of Hill House, right?
Yes.
Oh my god! I just rewatched it with Brian. He hadn't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Great storytelling. I one day wish I could create something so beautiful and tragic. I don't know. Brian loved it. We had. Did you watch Bly Manor yet?
Not yet. No.
It's good. Season 1 is definitely my favorite. A lot scarier, but season 2 has some really good moments. Definitely recommend.
I think I watched a kind of compilation video where you see the ghosts in the corners. So now I kind of know what to look for, but I will never ever get over the one jump scare. Not the one jump scare, but the scariest scene in season 1 when that person appears in the back seat. From the back seat.
Oh my god, Nell.
Mm-hmm. Nell.
It's like the last episode. And I've been that soundtrack has been on repeat.
Newton Brothers.
As I've been writing, the Newton Brothers, as I've been writing for Pine Top, which I have been, and the audio drama.
Yeah.
That soundtrack though, great writing material, and it's so sad. You love sad music. I feel like you should probably own this soundtrack.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why I haven't really. I
the
guess
last 3 tracks, it's like the beginning of the end, movement 1, 2, and 3. Oh my god, tears.
I for sure definitely. It's funny because like the track that I took away from the most was from the finale. Like I think it's called if I'm Going or something.
That's like right before I think the end of the beginning movements.
Yeah. But like that's the one track that I pulled away from the soundtrack, and it was just because I Shazammed it while I was watching it.
And I love the main title theme. I think is beautiful.
I always know that the Newton Brothers sort of have similar sounding themes. Like I hear it,
They did The Grudge 2020. Okay,
what?
you guys, can you believe that The Grudge came out this year? That is this year.
Yes.
It just seems like a lifetime. I mean, yeah, because 2020 sucks. It's just that January seems like a lifetime ago.
Yep, that was the first movie we saw.
Oh my god, yes, that was.
Jesus.
Maybe the score is better though. I don't remember the score, but I am now a new fan of the Newton Brothers.
Yeah, I always forget what else they did. Did they do? Oh wait, no, that was Tom and Andy. I was gonna say
they did a lot of
prophecies.
similar things to The Grudge. It seems they do a lot of ghosty, sad music.
I'll have to look him up. I know that he did some stuff that I was like, oh, really? Them? Did he do? No, that wasn't. That was someone else. I was gonna say Sinister, but that was. I think that was Christopher Young.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Christopher Young.
Yeah. But all right. God, I don't know. Like, gosh, Trick or Treat.
I'm trying to think of. I feel like there's. Oh, I mean, something like I noticed again for the first time this time watching it. That the candy bar Sam has at the end with Mr. Krieg, where he like pulls it and there's a blade. Is Mr. Wilkins' candy because he took it from him, and Mr. Wilkins is a piece of shit and was putting razors in his candy. This is the first time I realized it. I was like, it was like light bulb, and I'm like, amazing, so good.
Because upon watching it the first time, you think that of course Sam would have that kind of.
He would just. I just assumed he just had it, but I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's talk about Sam.
Okay.
Sam is just the cutest. I love the fact that they actually hired a little boy to put in that costume. So his mannerisms are that of a child.
And they look like it. You can definitely tell. That kid was really good. I did see, I think that little featurette on the DVD was mostly about him. So adorable.
Yeah.
Seemed like the sweetest kid. And it's the kid who's peeking in at them in the costume store. Remember that little kid peeking in through the doors? That's the actor, yeah. He finally got to show his face for one scene.
That's great. But, just like speaking of ironically, but the way he does grab the candy bar from Mr. Wilkins, it's just like, it's just so cute.
And I think that was one in the first time where I didn't see his hand because he reaches in and gets candy with the other kids. And then the one with the pirates like looking around, like, did I just see something that wasn't there? And then when they leave, you first see him, but I never noticed he was behind them the whole time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just thought that was cute and creepy.
And I especially love him. I love his one. Excuse me. I love his one short commercial where he's sitting at the bus stop, like getting ready for school.
Yes.
And he looks at these kids, and they kind of make fun of him. The next shot is this him holding a big bag, obviously full of all their bodies.
Mm-hmm. So dark, but
funny.
Funny. I think Trick or Treat's one of those movies that, like Amblin, right? Like 80s, kind of Goonies and things like that, where they skirted the line of almost being too far. Like, you're thinking of a Halloween villain dragging a bag full of dead kid bodies, and it sounds terrible, but it's so cute. But somehow it's so fucking adorable.
When a kid is doing it, it's like, oh.
I love in the school bus massacre scene when he's just poking at a dead bird.
Yeah. You know what I think makes him adorable? I think it's just cute little onesie.
I mean, how can you go on with the footy pajamas?
Yeah, because it's got the little flap in the back, and it looks so old school. And
did you watch the Season's Greetings short film?
That was on the Blu-ray too.
I did see that in my 3-year-long wait for this movie to come out. I knew it was based on that short, so that's all I had. So good, cute. I can see where Michael Dougherty has his love for Halloween. I think it's all in that little short.
Oh God, let's talk about him. It's not even a love. It's an obsession.
It's an obsession. Honestly, I think Michael Dougherty is very attractive.
I think I remember seeing what it looks like.
And I bet he has a Godzilla-sized. You know what? That's what it seems like to me. Look, I'm not saying don't quote me. I bet he definitely has a beer can cock.
Yeah, the skinny nerds always do, I feel.
I think he's so cute.
Mm-hmm. And I think I kind of vaguely remember him because I did only watch the music part of the behind the scenes, just because that's what I was focusing on more.
Nerd.
Well then, excuse me, princess. But no, that guy definitely. And I'm not quite sure if it's just Halloween and Christmas, but I feel his passion is in Halloween. And maybe you might agree with this, maybe not, but I think the only reason why I think most of his visual style went to the Halloween School Bus Massacre is because I honestly really think that he was Rhonda in his childhood. That weird kid who is, obsessed with the holiday and just knows the traditions.
I mean, I feel gravitated to Rhonda because I think we all, I for sure was a little bit of not a little bit, was a total little bit of an outcast or a loner, like definitely the nerdy kid who liked, I don't know. I liked nerdy things a lot of kids didn't. And so I definitely had, I think the same probably with you, some similar feelings. You gravitated towards her. You kind of understood where she was coming from.
Yeah, for her thing, it was, Halloween. For me, it was like, gosh, who can I talk to about fucking, like, I don't know, James Newton Howard?
Yeah, mine was like dinosaurs and scary movies. Which one?
Like, what would be like your random like fact, like Rhonda says about the
oh my god,
Samhain?
When I was in elementary school and middle school, I would always read. I would just get obsessed with different kinds of things. So it was like, for a few months, obsessed with spiders. For another few months, snakes. So there would be times where I would be like, "Did you know a jumping spider can blah 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 blah," and just totally bring the conversation down.
And then the kids have been like, "What?" Fuck, I'm trying to think of what mine was. I guess yours was more animals. Mine was like natural disasters.
I did have a phase where I was obsessed with tornadoes and tornadoes and volcanoes.
Yes, tornadoes, volcanoes.
Because Twister and then Dante's Peak came out. Amazing score. I just re-listened to that. So good.
And oh my god, oh my god. The best, most epic moment of my life involved the Dante's Peak opening theme by James Newton Howard.
It is so.
Oh my god. Okay, I gotta tell you a story real quick. We timed it so perfectly. We were driving up to Mount St. Helens. And it was crazy because we were traveling through, it was really cloudy. Like, what the fuck? It looks like we're in Silent Hill. And,
Exactly,
you know,
like the opening.
yeah. And then right as the music, started like built up, da 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 da, and then all of a sudden the clouds open up and there it fucking was Mount St. Helens. And I was all like,
I live for that.
oh, the chills, literal chills got me right now. Oh God, I'll never forget that because I've never traveled that high up in the elevation to where you broke through the cloud barrier and suddenly it like went from complete darkness to like light, like blue skies, top of mountains. It was like, Jesus Christ. Oh, got excited
I absolutely love moments like that. I mean, I listen to scores like people listen to the radio, like regular songs and stuff. 80% of mine is listening to soundtracks. So I definitely have little moments like that. I mean, I love walking down a dark alleyway listening to spooky music. It just really does it for me. So definitely appreciate moments like that.
I got a
You're
little,
like,
yeah, no, I know. It's funny because I had like a little moment like that, but it was so funny because I think it was just because I was waiting at like a stoplight on a freeway. And there was like these cars coming because I was the only one that stopped at the stoplight. And Old Maid from It Follows was playing. So then you got
that's a good soundtrack.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden you're there by yourself and all of a sudden you hear like dun 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 dun. And
It's funny that you mention that because I've been listening to that soundtrack too lately a lot with writing. Heels, I think is Heels, and then was it Opening Titles, which isn't even in the movie, is one of my favorite tracks. Is it Detroit?
I think it's Detroit, yeah. Like dun da 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 da.
I mean, it's in Detroit, but the main titles on the soundtrack aren't in the movie. Isn't in the movie.
Interesting.
Because the main titles doesn't have music playing through it.
When we cover that, and we're covering that next year, it's on the list. I got a very unfortunate story for you, but you'll just have to wait until March.
Damn. Well, if we get there, I'm excited to hear it. Forgot what track we were on.
Yeah,
we just went on a tangent.
Yeah, we just went
music.
on a huge tangent.
Oh, I was going to say,
Santa's.
Laurie's theme from Halloween is definitely on repeat on Halloween Day. So,
for some reason, I was thinking about Trick or Treats, Laurie.
Oh, sorry, not that Laurie.
Yeah.
Laurie Strode's theme from Halloween, I think, is just a quintessential, sets the mood for Halloween, fall, even just fall in general, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that whole score was just made up in a matter of a day.
On like a Casio keyboard or whatever it was.
Which, much respect, but it's like, oh man, our memorable music was just pulled out their asses in like a span of a day.
I mean, Scream was written in a weekend.
That is true. That is absolutely true. Marco Beltrami, you lovely bastard. Oh wait, you mean written or music?
I actually don't know the music. The script was written in a weekend, but I'm kind of bummed because Marco Beltrami is not going to be scoring Scream 5.
What the fuck?
It's someone known, but I'm trying to remember who it is. It's Brian Tyler, maybe.
Is it Brian Tyler?
I have to look it up. It's not, but I just know it's not Marco Beltrami.
Oh my god, that is weird. Okay, I'll look it up real quick.
And I mean, are we not going to get Sydney's theme? Well, that's the thing. Oh my god, I've read so many rumors and things that upset me about Scream 5 that I hope aren't true.
I could never do that. I could never look that far ahead and like be.
I mean, did you see the set pics with Courtney Cox as Gail?
No,
I would. Finally seeing Gail again after 10 years in her sweet pantsuit looks so good.
See, I don't know. I can't do that, honestly.
I love set photos.
Like, I think, when was the last time I truly obsessed over something like that? I can't even remember. But I don't know. This whole news about Marco Beltrami not coming back is kind of like, who the fuck
leads credence to more of the fact that this is going to be more of a reboot than an actual sequel. And I'm pretty sure the main three are going to die.
Like the opening
which pisses me off. I think, I don't even want to get into it. It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
I believe that I may have found. Okay, that can't be it.
I'm trying to. I remember. I read it. I read somewhere. It was like Marco's not coming back. They didn't say why, but it's this person.
Now, James Vanderbilt wrote the script. I thought that may have been it. Because I am not seeing anything, at least on my end.
And you know what's funny is Robert Jackson, the voice of Ghostface, hasn't even been confirmed as being in the movie. He said they haven't said anything to him yet.
Yeah, you think maybe he would be like, he could be cast like late, like even in secret?
Yeah, I mean, they waited a really long time for them to say that Nev Campbell was going to be in it, but I feel like they probably knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
God, I remember it was somewhere, I read it was on Twitter. There was a whole thing where it was like, Marco's not coming back, but this is who's replacing him.
Because I need to know. I really, really need to know now.
Well, if I find out, I'll let you know.
Oh my God, Nicholas Britell?
Sounds right.
Nicholas Britell? What the fuck? He wrote music for Moonlight.
Which is like an award-winning movie, right?
Yeah, but like Nicholas Britell? Oh, I don't know how to feel about that, man. That
I've never heard the score. Yeah, see, Robert Jackson has no contract in place for Scream 5. He literally just said it right now. They haven't signed anything.
Nicholas Britell. You know, that's not even like hiring Michael Giacchino to score Rogue One, because Michael Giacchino is like a spiritual successor to John Williams. Marco Beltrami being replaced by Nicholas Britell is like replacing Danny Elfman with, I don't know, John Powell? Does that even make sense? Oh.
I'll have to listen to what he's done before. I don't have a reference. I was just too upset that it wasn't Marco Beltrami.
Yeah, no, I am.
I mean, Sydney's like, they have to have, that's like the Scream theme. It's not even just.
Yeah. I am actually very, very upset. Because Nicholas Britell, yeah, sure, he won an Academy Award for Moonlight. Let's see what he does. He has done 35 films. He did The King with Timothée Chalamet. Vice, the Christian Bale fight, If Beale Street Can Talk, Battle of the Sexes, Moonlight, Free State of Jones, The Big Short.
So no horror movies.
No horror movies. I don't know. He's like a human drama, like depressing drama kind of composer. I don't know how he's going to do horror.
Sydney's Lament is fucking depressing as hell. Yeah. Maybe that's a good sign?
Maybe. I don't know.
They're going for a human drama. So there's just so much. We could have a whole bonus episode talking about Scream 5.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about Trick or Treat that's jumping out at you?
Yeah. Well, okay. No, really. It's a great, lovely movie. I'm sorry, listeners. This is distressing. Breaking news.
This is how I've been feeling about literally everything I've heard about Scream 5.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they're going to kill my love.
Yeah.
And
they already killed. I'm not saying I'm not going to see it, but the fact that the one, well, of course, without Wes Craven, without Wes Craven, but like that's obvious. You can't have Wes Craven because he passed away. But how do you go about a Scream movie without
Marco
Beltrami?
Even Kevin Williamson helped with the screenplay. So
yeah. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping it's a situation like Troy. Wolfgang Peterson hired Gabriel Yarret to do a classic score. The studios hated it, fired him, and hired James Horner to come in and write the score in like 2 weeks. I'm hoping that, I don't know. Maybe Nicholas Britell will.
And we won't know for 2
something.
years.
Oh,
that pisses me off even more. That for 2 years I'm going to be just a mess with what might be and what might not be. To be fair, when Scream 4 was coming out, I was for sure they were all going to die too, and I was going to be super upset, and it was like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
But
at least I had Wes Craven. At least I had Marco Beltrami. Oy.
Although he disappointed me on the Scream 4 soundtrack.
I need to listen to it, to be honest.
There's only the Sydney's theme in like 2 tracks, and it's very short. Just motifs, just the dun dun, literally just a piano of it really quick. So,
yeah. Well, now, God, and so in 2 years, when you hear us cover the whole Scream series leading up to 5,
We'll let you know.
We'll let you know. Nicholas Bertel, I don't know why they hired you, but your ass
You
is
are
on
on
the
trial.
line, buddy.
Yeah.
You have
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, you have very big, scary shoes to fill. None of this drama shit. None of this. You can't just repeat a theme like you did in Moonlight. You have to be scary.
I mean, I feel like... did you...
Listen to the Moonlight
just-
score.
There's so much to talk
and
about.
Yeah, listen to the Moonlight score, and then just say, "This guy is gonna write music for a Scream movie." Oh my! I'm just.
I almost don't want to do that because I feel like I'm going to get even more upset.
Yeah, you will. Guys, look at me. I'm like, what? Nicholas fucking Bertel. Oh, happy fucking Halloween.
Which apparently on Halloween there's supposed to be a Halloween Kills panel from Blumhouse. So maybe we'll see some footage.
Maybe. Had the world not gone to shit, this weekend would have been the weekend to be watching Halloween Kills. Or no, last weekend, huh?
It would have been so sad. And
Yeah.
Candyman.
And Candyman. And A Quiet Place 2. You know what we're getting?
A moment of silence. Okay, we're back.
There we go. You know what we are getting in theaters this Friday? Come Play. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Come Play. I think I watched that trailer.
Yeah.
And I wasn't interested.
But yeah, okay.
Did you watch The Witches yet? Before we
Not yet.
Before we end. Okay.
Not yet. No.
We'll talk about it. Watch it. We'll talk about it next episode.
Yeah. But, yeah. Oh, and just as a quick reference, that's like doing a Friday the 13th movie without Harry Manfredini.
Yes. Or Jurassic Park or Star Wars without John Williams.
That's one they did good with Michael Giacchino. But like
They did. I mean, he's just like a clone, right?
Yeah.
They just took
He's
took
a
John Williams'
successor.
sperm and grew Michael Giacchino in a test tube.
Yep, Michael Giacchino is the love child of John Williams and John Williams.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Oops. Uh-oh. But yes, okay,
all right.
Toby, what did you think of Trick or Treat?
I think Trick or Treat is, I think you said at the beginning of the episode, like the best Halloween movie. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think it is. Yep. Because, I mean, you say that immediately, everyone's like, what the fuck? Halloween is obviously the best Halloween movie. But Halloween's not actually about Halloween, like at all, really.
And then I would say, yeah, you say that, but you didn't have a 3 to 4 hour episode about talking about Halloween.
or combined 50 hours talking about the entire series.
Fucking hell.
I think it's a really, really good movie. And I would agree. I think it is the best movie about Halloween, based on Halloween. I don't think there is another movie that really goes into the mythology. You can argue Halloween 3 tried to-ish, but no. I think it's a really fun movie. And I think it's a great in-between movie for, I think, younger horror fans, maybe preteen and up. I think it's a very good introduction. Because it has some really horror elements, but it's also a lot of fun. It is really kiddie at times. It is very much has the Goonies Gremlins feel, with a dash of Scream and Haunted Mansion. So it's a great movie. It's very rewatchable.
I miss the Haunted Mansion. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, no, pretty much the same. I think it's I think it's a quintessential viewing for Halloween. More so than Michael Myers' Halloween,
It really, I mean, come on, people. It's been 40 years. Halloween is a cult classic. It is an amazing movie, but it is not the end-all, be-all. In fact, I've seen it so many times, I, try not to fall asleep.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
It is fucking boring.
Yeah.
So,
I remember watching it, at the Harkins last year with Corey and Richard, and I was like, holy shit. First of all, it's really quiet. It's a quiet movie. And I was like, holy shit, there are long stretches of nothing. Sure, the tension's there, and I'm not quite sure if it's because I've seen it so many times or I don't know.
Controversial. I think Halloween 2018 is better.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So people might, pitchforks and shit. 1-star reviews from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah,
She's in the second one from fans of the first movie. One in particular.
It has its place. I think Richard's pretty lucky though. He saw Halloween and then directly jumped to Halloween 2018.
Great.
None of the bullshit in between.
Highly recommend that experience.
But I'm sorry, yeah, Trick or Treat, amazing quintessential movie, has the very amazing visuals. I think there's a lot of very iconic looking shots. You know, there's a lot of memorable moments, a lot of memorable characters, even. Especially, there's a lot of surprises. You know, I love stories like this when they catch you off guard. You know, they have an awesome twist that when you go back, you can definitely see the little hints that were dropped there. Like, I don't know, I love this movie, and coming in at 100 minutes, it just went by so quick. So quick.
Fast watch. Yeah, I always worry now when I go back to revisit certain movies, like the runtime, and this one, it flies by.
Yeah. But yeah, no, absolutely love this movie.
So I'm going to say, how many murder lollipops?
Exactly what I was going to say. How many out of 5 murder lollipops do you give Trick or Treat?
I'm going to give it a 4.5. And I it's not the most amazing movie. Like I said, I think that one, there is some parts of the movie where I feel like he kind of was lazy a bit. Like, he focused so much on certain parts of the movie that are amazing that, like I said, that kind of parade slasher scene I think was really not necessary. But other than that, it's a really good movie. I don't want to give it a 5. It's not a masterpiece, I think. It's like a once a year watch for sure. But yeah, 4.5, I think it's pretty fair of a rating, especially for a movie that was put on the shelf for 3 years.
Oh, man. Wait, so you mean like before it was made, or it was made and then shelved for 3 years?
It was made and then shelved. So it was made in 2005. It was filmed 2005, 2006.
Wow.
It was supposed to come out Halloween or fall for 2007. And then Superman Returns got fucked. And it was shelved until 2009.
Wow. Well, thank goodness for whatever executive was all like, yeah, it's time to release this.
Like, this movie, it'd be fun to go to like a midnight showing, kind of like Rocky Horror, where everyone's dressing up as the different costumes and things like that. I think it's also a movie you can kind of repeat certain lines. Mr. Wilkins, like...
I don't know about that. I think it's like a fun midnight thing with people dressed up, but I don't think it's as quotable as Rocky.
I guess
Horror
that's
Picture
true.
Show. I mean, it is fun. I think this would be a blast with the right crowd in the sold out theater. Like,
I would love to do it in like a Halloween corn maze or something, like out in the fields or something. Have a big screen, hay bales, crap like that.
Yeah, this is that kind of movie. It's definitely a movie made by someone who A, is obsessed with Halloween, and B, loves horror movies. And he brought...
And
you can
film.
You can feel the love of the holiday. He has the creativity of an amazing filmmaker. I love it. It's just great. It's like a filmmaker's movie too, because this is how you do fun horror. I mean, it's not like so scarring and terrifying, but it's fun horror.
No, it never gets to that point, which is why I think it's a good introduction horror movie. But I think it still will satisfy that bloodlust, as horror fans have.
But I love it so much. I think I got to do it, Toby. I'm gonna give this 5 murder lollipops out of 5.
Okay.
I don't think it needs to be considered a masterpiece to be a 5. It's fun. It's great. It's scary, and I love it.
Wonderful.
But okay.
What are we covering next week, Harrison?
Yes, next week's going to be very cool. It's going to be a new theme, a new month. So, we had Aliens of August. We had Serial Killer September. We have October for scary movies. What the hell goes with November? And I'm thinking there's not a lot of like Thanksgiving horror movies. Like there's Thanksgilling, but...
And Thanksgilling 3.
Yeah, so whoop-de-doo. So we're thinking, okay, what are words that rhyme with November? And we came up with the most excellent theme for November, and we're calling it Dismember November, where we'll be covering all 4 Evil Dead movies. We're covering The Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness for some reason. and the Evil Dead remake. So now you
And
know
I've never
what's coming.
seen the unrated version, and I noticed you have it.
Of
Evil Dead, the 2011
oh
or 2013.
Yeah, okay. Well, watch it. It's not like it's a big difference, but there's just some added scenes. Specifically, from the trailer, that part where that guy is with the chainsaw.
Or like I'm gonna get you or something.
Oh yeah, that's in there.
I remember seeing the trailer and then it wasn't in the movie, and I was like, the fuck? It was like the part I was waiting for.
I'm kind of glad it was cut, but you'll see.
I'll have to see it. Love that movie though.
Yeah, so if anything, there are pretty much what's available to us for the Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 is pretty much what's widely known. There's no like uncut version or anything. I should let you know that I will be covering both the theatrical and the bootleg cut of Army of Darkness. So
Okay, I'll have to look it up. I've never seen Army of Darkness.
like at all?
I've seen the first 15 minutes, and then for whatever reason, not that I didn't want to watch it, it was like a date or something. I think that's what happened.
Oh.
So in my mind, I was like, I for sure saw that, but then
Did we have a stigmata moment with Army of
but then my
Darkness?
memory kind of fades into a whole different movie. So
Oh, no. Okay. Well, in that case, I think, well, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
You'll,
I've read a lot about
yeah.
it. I mean, I obviously know what
Yeah, what
about it,
happens.
but,
So, in that case, I don't know. I'll be watching both.
Okay.
I kind of prefer the bootleg cut, actually. So,
Okay.
if you can get your hands on that, definitely do watch
I'm
that.
sure I
So,
can.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, that's what we come for the rest of the month. But until then, you can. Thanks for listening to us. You can find us on all the social medias. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can also listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube, where you can also see us talk about these movies. We're recording video through Zoom right now. And plus, go watch the video so you can see my spooky mask.
Mm-hmm.
and
my pumpkin.
Toby's spooky skull.
Yes, the skull.
Yeah.
And you'll get a new episode in only 3 days.
Yes, because this is. Oh my God! Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Oh my God! Yeah. So Oh my God! We gotta watch Evil Dead.
We got another one on. Yeah, we do.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ! Okay.
I like that movie though. So
It's gonna be fun.
pretty short.
80
From
minutes.
what I remember, yeah, it goes by fast.
So you better not say, "Oh, this feels so long."
You're right. I have been guilty of that lately. But to be fair, these fucking movies have been long.
Yeah.
That long. But this one didn't.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I like we did last episode. So be sure to give us a like, 5 stars, maybe, or 1 star. Give us, if we're doing something good, tell us. If we're doing something bad, tell us too, because we want to learn. We want to, we want to make a better podcast for you guys who are listening. So you got some suggestions, comments. Toby's still waiting for people to tell you what his favorite dinosaur is. And Toby, we gotta address something. It's been a while since we've heard from the guy who wanted us to do sexy horror movies. What was that?
Yes.
Are you
it
still
was
out there? We
sexual
miss
horror
you.
movies.
Sexual
I
horror
do miss him.
movies.
I feel like if any time of the year to make a return, it'd be now.
Yeah.
I've gotten 0 mysterious messages from killers, so
So come on, where are you?
I've done a lot. I did a lot of things this past summer, so
Yeah, because the sexual horror movies, oh my gosh, I don't know. We've definitely covered some interesting movies. I think some.
I mean, when I saw that message, I was like, sexual horror movies. I was trying to think. I mean, the only one I could really come up with was like Basic Instinct.
Yeah, because that's all that comes to mind, really. Like, Teeth.
I bet if we really thought about it, we could probably come up with. Yeah, Teeth is definitely a sexual horror movie.
I mean, technically, maybe It Follows. It's like
I've only seen it one. No, oh yeah, that is a
STD.
STDs. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, it's all about fucking.
Maybe he wasn't even thinking about that. He was just literally talking. He literally wants you to talk about porn.
That's what it was. Horror porn,
Yeah.
parody porn. Yeah.
But unfortunately, all the movies that revolve around